What is up, guys and girls? Welcome back to my channel. I hope you're all doing well. I hope you're all having fun, and I hope you're all getting out in the water as much as possible. We are coming back at you from La Ventana, Mexico. We are still here enjoying the warm winter, the wind, and all kinds of foiling so that we can come back to roads, reckless riders, and make the best experience for you guys on our Wingfoil station. Now today we're coming back at you with a different kind of video, something a little bit more advanced than what we normally do. It's for the people that are already riding, they're comfortable, maybe they're getting their first air and they're thinking, I want to try some sort of freestyle trick. And the most obvious trick to go for first, the one that you've probably seen most, is the aerial 360, right? So we're going to go and explain that today here. Make sure before we do this that you are getting, like I said, you're comfortable, fully comfortable on the foil. You obviously need to be in straps and you're getting your first airs and jumps throughout, right? So let's get right into the explanation. First thing we want to do when we're talking about the aerial 360 is we obviously want to be riding up. Hey, these guys will be better at explaining it. Come here, guys.
Yo.
How's it going?
Not bad, how are you?
Good, good. All good?
Yeah, man.
So these are Alex and Taylor. They also have a YouTube channel and they are sick riders, so they would be probably way better than me at explaining the aerial 360, or how you would call it?
The frontside 360.
Frontside 360, okay. So guys, introduce yourself a little bit.
What's up, guys? I'm Windsurf Pro.
And I'm Average Joe.
And so a little bit about our background. I'm a professional windsurfer and I come from competing on the European circuit in freestyle windsurfing. And recently I took up my love for wingfoiling, started doing freestyle, and yeah, it just made a lot of sense. And along the way, I was learning with my friend Taylor in the Delta. Taylor, you want to share a bit about your experience?
I'm Taylor and I really like wingfoiling.
So Taylor here calls himself an average Joe. I'm not sure what that makes the rest of us, but anyway, yeah, you go out, check these guys' channel out. They look a little bit more into the advanced stuff and things, kind of like basically sending it, right? Like backflips, 360s, front flips, just jumps, anything. Getting into freestyle. I think they're getting a few more intermediate videos out soon, so you know, once you're outgrowing my channel, pop onto theirs. So I was just explaining to the guys here how we would do backside 360, right?
Frontside 360.
Frontside, see? Explain, they explain, not me. So frontside 360. So how would you go about doing a frontside 360?
There are like a lot of like crucial things that go into doing a frontside 360, but like there are definitely a few big key pointers that you should be focusing on.
Let's walk through it, right? But not too crazy. Let's walk through it step by step, and then we'll recap on the key points as we always do, right?
Okay. So the first thing when you're going for the frontside 360 is of course going to be the takeoff. And so for taking off on the frontside 360, one of the most important things is that when you're learning this, you don't want to go big. You don't want to go big, you don't want to go too far upwind, you don't want to go too far downwind. You want to stay either across the wind or maybe 15 to 20 degrees downwind. Staying within that range will allow you to have a really neutral and easy to control rotation. Typically when you're going too far upwind, the wing will power up above you and it just makes it too hard to control the 360. So staying within that range of across the wind to 20 degrees downwind will give you a really controllable rotation.
Okay, so if here in La Ventana we got the wind coming from there, right? So we got the wind here, we're riding towards the camera. Let me not have my back to you guys. Step here, Taylor, average Joe, my ass. So if we're riding here, right? This is right across the wind, so the wind's like right on my back. I'm going here, and I want to keep that direction or a little bit more downwind.
So if you're going right across the wind, that's fine.
Okay, good.
That's fine, either here or a little bit downwind. Even a little bit downwind makes it easier. You'll go, basically the more upwind you go, the higher you're gonna go.
Okay, so we don't want to go upwind, we want to go across the wind or a little bit downwind, right?
That's right.
So I'm going here, and I go for takeoff. I don't want to go big, I don't want to be stupid, right? So I pop up. What's the next step?
Taylor, you wanna hit this one?
Yeah, sure. So as soon as you take off, this is so counterintuitive, you want to wait. You don't want to do anything, you just want to wait. This is important for a couple of reasons.
Okay.
So when I take off, if I go and throw it right away, the odds are that my board is going to be pointed up and that's going to throw me way off axis, right?
Yeah.
So if I'm launching like this, and before I wait, if I just go and throw it, it's gonna send me into this downward turn.
Okay.
So
yeah, I've done that.
You've done that?
Yeah,
I've done that. Alex, have you done that?
Oh, I have done that a bunch of times.
Cool. So the other thing is that so this is the cool thing about doing a little jump, is that if you wait a little bit, you go way higher than you think you would. Right? If you do a tiny little jump and you go to throw it right away, you may not even have left the foil yet, right?
Okay.
Your foil may not even have left the water.
So I've started rotating and the foil's still coming out.
Yeah, exactly. And so it's not a bad thing, but the cool thing is we can maximize our pop without going really far upwind, without going super sendy.
Okay, perfect.
So that's part 2.
Part 2. So we're going across the wind, we jump not too high, and when I jump, do I focus on anything, like while I'm going up? Do I focus on, obviously you said wait, so I'm waiting to get to the peak of the jump, right? So what's next? When I reach the peak, what do I do?
So when you reach the peak of your jump, this is where we reach the most crucial part of the frontside 360. And this is where you actually initiate your rotation. And the matter of how you initiate your rotation is what's the most important here. It looks like it's a move where you are kicking the board around, but actually it's quite the opposite. What we focus on is actually something that we call the spinny chair method. And I'm sure you've used this explanation of a spinny chair
I love the
times.
spinny chair method, yes.
It's great. So it applies to almost everything as well when you're jumping. So for the frontside 360, once you get to the top of your rotation, you're gonna sit on that spinny chair by bringing your knees up, so that way you compress a little bit. And then you're gonna be pulling on the wing to spin yourself around. But you're not just pulling on it, you're also pulling and kind of pushing it down a little bit to your hips. And so this motion of pushing it off of a tabletop will give you that same pushing motion that you need, and that's what's going to be what sends you around the rotation.
Okay, so basically I don't go up and turn my body, I go up and I pull the wing in and down and back here, and that rotates me. And
it's also very important, your head motion in this. You want to be looking around the turn. If you're looking straight down as you're pulling, your head is what's going to be guiding you. So if you're not looking around...
Looking down, you go down.
Exactly.
Makes sense. Okay, we've always said that for literally every move we've done so far. So I hope so far you've understood the point where you got to look where you want to go. So we got cross the wind or a little bit downwind, jump, wait for the peak, bring the knees in, right? So make sure you're compact, pull the wing down into your hips and back, and that will rotate your body. Do not try to rotate through your core or your legs. Do not try to throw it around. It is absolutely not necessary, and it will not keep the board flat, right? Exactly. It's gonna dive it. So you go around. So now we're here. That's all nice, very good.
Yep.
What do I do next?
So the next thing, once you've entered into your spinny chair position where you've got your bent knees, your board is under your body and you're nice and compact.
Look at that, that's all that yoga.
Yeah,
I can't do that.
It's the yoga practice. When you're here, when you've finished the first half of your rotation, the 180, you're then, instead of pulling, you're gonna push. And this is gonna help you finish the rotation so that you can ride out of it.
Okay, and do you push like just straight across, or do you aim?
It's kind of like a drag.
Yeah.
So for us, we do our 360s going out that way. But so as we're coming around the second half, your front hand is going to be down by your hip. So what we end up doing is actually dragging it so that our back hand is now at our hip and our front hand is going to be pulling up.
So you pull upwards,
and
right?
In this moment, this is also a very important moment where your head is looking around. Because if you're looking down at your wing here, your shoulders are not going to open. But the moment you start looking, you see it's pulling my shoulder up and open. So that'll make the wing naturally get pulled up.
Okay, I know that mistake. My face has felt it many times. So we basically have, and would that be everything? Like you just land and you're fine, or do we have another step after this?
On the landing, the only important thing is where you're putting the wing. Because if you're just pulling it through, you're gonna probably land on.
But like you said, if you look around, it opens your shoulders, leads it up.
The important thing is just gonna be getting that front hand back up. I mean, for you guys, if you're doing it this way, getting that front hand back up and sheeting in, so that way you have power.
Yeah.
That you just want the wing to be powered up to pull you, so you can ride away on foil.
Okay.
Because if you're pushing with both hands, the wing's gonna go neutral, and then you're relying entirely on your balance for the landing. When you have something that can help you balance, which is the wind. So you just want to make sure that you're powering up as you're landing.
Okay. So basically, we're looking at cross the wind, jump, wait for the peak of your jump, right?
That's right.
As you come at the peak, I'm going to lift my shorts because I'm not as flexible as Taylor. As I get to the peak of the jump, I pull my knees in and pull the wing down and back, right? Then we do the spinny chair technique, which is you pull the wing back and that rotates you around here. At the whole time, look where you want to go. Don't be looking down. So you go here, right, down low, and then once you've made your rotation and you're looking basically into the wind, maybe you've even already passed a little bit.
Past is better.
Past is better, okay, there we go. Then we pull the wing through, so the backhand now comes to the hip, and again, look around and up so that it opens upwards on the landing, and you go and land here, right? And you're looking, I guess, to land pretty flat on the board. You're not looking to land with the nose too much or with the tail. You're looking to land flat and be able to
You want to try to land
off.
flat or even a little bit on the tail.
Yeah.
Landing nose first is a no-go. That's
good.
Won't work.
Okay, so what would you say in all this explanation right now? We've seen it, we've done the whole thing. We said cross the wind, up, pull in and back, look over the shoulder. You're going around, around, around. Once you've crossed the wind line, then you push forward so the backhand comes to the hip. You're looking up and over your shoulder so it opens and you land flat on the board. So now what would you say are the key points? So if we were to like reduce it down to 4 or 5, whatever, the least the better, obviously. Key points to keep your mind on while you're doing the 360. What would be number 1?
Number 1, make sure that you are not jumping upwind. You want to stay in that across the wind to slightly downwind range.
Okay, so number 1, jump downwind to crosswind.
That's right.
Number 2.
Number 2, we don't want to jump too high.
Okay.
You know, when you get the move, you can get kind of sendy and go further upwind, but just when you're first learning, it's most beneficial to jump just high enough to the point where you can pull it around without touching the tip on the water.
Okay, so keep it smooth, keep it simple, keep it small for the beginning. Later you can send it, guys, okay? And number 3.
Make sure you wait to the top of the jump before you start pulling.
Okay, so reach the peak.
Yep.
Yeah, don't rush. This is like, I think this is the hardest thing to do because everybody, of course, when they're overthinking everything, they go up and they want to start as soon as possible. Don't rush, get to the peak.
That's right.
Number 3.
Number
4, sorry.
Number
4.
When we're ready to engage the rotation, we want to make sure that our board is under us and nice and flat. We don't want the board to be up. We don't want the board to be down. We want it to be nice and flat, and we want our knees to be tucked so that the rotation happens really quick.
Cool, so number 4, tuck in. Get the board flat under you. Don't be like that or like that. Flat. Tuck. Yoga. Number 5. Pull. How hard?
Sure. You want to pull, the more wind, the harder you pull.
So pull hard.
You want to pull
Don't
hard.
be
like,
soft. Go for it.
If you feel like you're pulling it far back, you're not pulling it far back enough. It really needs to be like way more, because you will go through probably 90% of the rotation with the wing back.
So exaggerate the movement, right? So like
really
pull
extreme.
back, like really as much as your hands can take it.
The harder you pull, the faster you spin.
Exactly. So it's not necessary to go hard, but I recommend going hard because it helped me get around my first ones.
Yes.
And 6 and probably last, right?
Pulling up, cheating in at the end.
Okay, so right at the end, you're landing flat. You want to get it up, look across your shoulder and up, get the wing going upwards so it pulls you out of the turn, not down into the water. So we have number 1, take off, crosswind, slightly downwind, not upwind in the beginning. Number 2, bring up the feet, wait for the top of the rotation, so wait for the top of the jump, get to the peak. Number 3, bring in the legs, right? Gather, get the board flat, like really crunch up. Number 4, pull in to the back as much as you can.
That's right.
Really as much as you can. Like if it feels like you're not enough, go more, right? Crack those shoulders open. And wait, of course, when you get around to the right point, then you push through. And number 6 is what comes last, which is as you're looking over your shoulder, look up over your shoulder so it comes through on the landing and up high. So it pulls you back onto the foil, not straight down into the water, like I do a lot. Okay?
We did skip over one little one in there. Be humble with the jumps. Don't jump.
Yes, I'm never humble, so they have to remind me all the time to be humble with the jumps. So
from that, you got it.
Yeah, so I think that's it, right? So those are your key points, guys. We explained the whole thing. We're gonna put some water footage in there somewhere for sure. You've already seen it. We'll probably use these guys' footage so you can see it like really really nicely, right? And that's all. I hope you liked the video. If you did, please drop a like. Obviously, comment with any questions you have. Let us know.
What moves do you want to see him throw?
What moves do you want to see me throw? Of course, if you haven't subscribed to the channel yet, subscribe to my channel. Go check out these guys' channel. Even if you're not gonna need it right now, you're gonna need it in the future. So go there, check out their videos. They're fun, they're nice, and they know how to send it. So follow them. And of course, share the video with anyone you think might need it. Even if it's a friend that's actually pretty shit and you want to say, hey, you should try this, and you want to watch him crash, you know? It's all fun and games on the water. So thank you for watching, guys. See you on the water.